You're recording?
Yep.
I'm going to do 3, 2, 1, and then we'll clap, okay?
Okay.
3, 2, 1. You're a little late. 3, 2, 1. Why are you waiting so long? On one, just clap right away.
On my screen, I'm clapping before you.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. You're clapping so late, but I guess it's just a delay. That's so funny. Hey guys, welcome to another video. Sean and I are going to be talking about a few topics today. We're going to be talking about how we first got into watches and maybe like the first watch that meant something to us. Right, Sean?
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah, you look so cool in those glasses. Let's do a wrist check.
Yeah. Today I've got the Baltic Aquascaf. Just goes with my outfit perfectly. So,
Yeah, it really does. I like that watch.
what you got?
I got my Hamilton Murph
Nice.
bracelet.
Nice.
You know, figured I'd bring it out. I don't wear it as much as I'd like to, but yeah, all right.
Cool.
Let's get into this video.
Yeah. Did you
want me
already
to start it off?
Did you already say the intro? Like, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't.
Mhm.
I was waiting for you to react to my dumb glasses.
Yeah, you're doing your stupid glasses bit. All right.
All right. Yeah. Let's get
Session.
going. So what were we going to talk about first? I guess how we got into watches.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Sounds like you want to go first. Go first.
Yeah. I just it's so fresh in my memory because I just wrote it all down.
Yeah,
but
go ahead. Go.
Yeah, so I didn't get into watches until maybe like 2019, 2020, 2018. Around that time, I don't really remember exactly, but I've always had watches growing up. I had my very first watch was back when I was like 10 years old. My dad gave me, I actually have it right here, a vintage Seiko chronograph, and it's a quartz watch. I'll show that to you.
That's cool.
You've seen it before,
I've never
I
seen
believe.
that. I don't think. No.
I've sent you photos, but
Have you?
it was so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this thing's not working right now. It just needs a new battery. But this was the very first watch that my dad gave to me, and I used to wear it all the time. And I really did like this thing, but I found it recently in storage a few years ago, and I was really happy that I found it.
That's really cool that you still have like your first watch you ever got.
Yeah, it just took me like 30 minutes to scrummage through my closet and like find it because I knew what I had it in.
Mm-hmm.
I had it in like this container, but I could not find the container. But I finally, like the very last shoe box that I put it, I have shoe boxes I store stuff in, so I found that. But yeah, and then I remember in high school, we went to the same high school together, and in 2004, 2005, we went to a Burger King.
Yeah, I was gonna tell this story, so I'm glad you brought it
Yeah,
up.
yeah. So we got these, like Star Wars was doing a thing, and they released these watches, and I had a Stormtrooper watch. It was like white and black.
It was like for the
And,
Burger King Big Kids meal, and we're 17-year-olds going to Burger King getting a BK meal with a watch.
yeah. I remember coming back and being so happy about that watch.
Yeah, I remember you were trying to impress somebody.
Yeah, Carrie Gardner.
You had a big crush on
And
her.
I remember you guys were talking, and you guys knew I liked her, so you tried to get me to say something. I was like, "Look at my watch."
It's the nerdiest thing anyone has ever said. You're just like,
Yeah.
Look at my Star Wars watch.
And then also in 2016, no, this was probably like 2013, 2014. You remember Vine?
Yeah,
That was a thing.
Oh yeah, the wooden watch.
So I was somewhat Vine famous back in the day. I used to dress up as Aquaman and do videos underwater. I used to work at an underwater park where mermaids would perform, and I performed as the prince in the show. But I would make these vines underwater, dressed as Aquaman, and I had a video go viral of me playing drums underwater as Aquaman. And one of the very first brands that reached out to me was this brand called Jord, Jord.
I wonder if they're still around.
They are. I just actually looked
really?
them up. I'll share my screen with you if you want.
Yeah.
I can show you. And yeah, they sent me a watch just to make a vine. I know. At the time, it was like I thought it was so cool, and I used to wear it all the time. And I have absolutely no idea where it is. I lost it somewhere along the way. I'm sure I have it maybe.
Yeah, it's made of wood. It disintegrated.
Yeah. But it might be at my mom's house or something, but I can't find it anywhere where I live. But never was really into watches. It wasn't until maybe 2019 where you and our friend Julian are in a group chat, and you were sending like photos of your watch, and then you also sent like a photo of another watch, and I was like, why do you need more than one watch? It baffled me.
Yeah.
You know, I had no idea about watches at the time, and I was giving you a hard time about it. I was like,
You made fun of me.
yeah,
Hardcore.
I was like,
and
you have a
Julian.
watch. Why do you need more? It's like you have a thing to tell the time. It goes with your outfit, and you're good
And I
to
made
go.
the comparison of having multiple shoes.
Yeah.
You know, I wear my watches for my outfit, and you guys just were like, you don't even need a watch. You're so stupid.
Well, and also at the time, like,
Why do you need more than one?
yeah, but it was also
I was
like, how much
I don't
are
know.
these watches? I'm thinking $100, and you're going into a couple $100. But at the time, I thought I think you didn't even have that much of a collection in terms of like
No.
anything. But I remember I was like, okay, I think I might want to get into watches, but at like the lowest level. And the very first watch that you recommended.
Wait.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I don't know this part because for me, you guys hardcore just made fun of me, and then all of a sudden he was a watch expert. So tell me, what was the transition? Like, what did you start watching watch videos? Like,
No,
what happened?
you
here?
had shown me. You have that one like designer watch that's like super blank,
Linear.
Yeah, and I loved it.
Yeah, linear.
And I was
this one.
I was gonna buy that watch, but they were sold out. They did not have anything. So I was like, Sean, what are some other brands I can look for? And you had mentioned
Seiko.
Kimono.
Oh, I remember that because you didn't want to spend a lot of
Yeah,
money.
I just wanted
It was like
something.
kimono,
I liked
skagging.
that dressy look where it was like barely anything on the dial, and I liked. I wanted like a big thing to be present on my wrist, and I don't know. Like this was the first thing that I got, and I bought it used off eBay because I think the one I wanted they did not have in stock, and yeah, so that was like what got me into watches. How about you, Sean?
Honestly, a pretty similar story. As a kid, I remember getting watches, and it wasn't this specific one, but it was my grandparents gave me a Mickey Mouse watch from Disney World. And honestly, I could just be making this completely up. But I for some reason, I remember having a Mickey Mouse watch. So, like, I always wore watches on and off as a kid, and my mom would make fun of me because I'm sitting here just staring at my watch. And my mom is just like, what, don't you know how to tell the time? And I would just be enamored with my watch. And then for work, I needed a watch for like a legitimate tool watch because I was an EMT and we were timing heart rates and breath rates. So I needed a watch. And this is not that watch, but I repurchased the watches I had when I was an EMT. It's the Casio Forester.
Oh, cool, yeah.
It's just a tool. Watches are tools.
Yeah.
You can't pull out your cell phone during an emergency. And I wasn't a watch collector then. I didn't know that I would be a watch collector at that time. And really the first watch I saw in person and fell in love with was this linear watch, the one you mentioned.
I thought that was going to be the one.
Yeah, someone wore it, had it on wrist, and I work at FedEx, and I was delivering to his business, and I was just like, whoa, what watch is that? It's so beautiful. And then like a month later, I went out and bought it.
Oh, so you actually saw someone with that watch?
Yeah, and I wrote it down because it's a weird brand that no one really knows about.
I've never seen anyone else. I've never seen that watch in any aspect of anything besides you having it.
Yeah, same. Other than that guy.
So that guy's responsible for me and you probably being super into watches now.
And he didn't give a shit. He's just like, oh, I think it's this. He was not a watch guy. But, and about the same time as you, I mean, obviously a little bit before you, maybe a year before, I started, I don't know if COVID happened, and then I really started getting into watches, or around that time is when I really started getting into watches. And of course, you buy your first Seikos, and you're watching Teddy Baldessar online. And then I just went full autistic and started buying a bunch of watches. So yeah, that's kind of my story and how I got into watches. I always wore them as a kid, and then I'm into fashion, so I wanted an accessory, a piece of jewelry that I could always wear, basically.
Yeah, I remember. I remember around that time, and after I got the kimono, I was all right. Let me get something that's like an actual brand that people know, and it was the Timex Weekender.
Yeah, I have that watch too.
Yep, you have this watch. I'm not sure if you have the same color or whatnot.
White dial. Yeah,
Yeah, I got
mine
the
is.
blue dial because I really love the blue, but it looks black, but it's like a navy blue. But I just found this, but this was a watch that I wore a lot, and I really loved it. And this is really the watch that like kicked off my love for watches. So this is really going kind of into the next talking point, kind of the watch that means something to me, but it's not. It's not. This was kind of just like that beginning one, the one that
That
really,
kicked it off. I have a question.
yeah.
Well, and maybe this is your next watch, but what was your first automatic watch? Do you know?
Oh, dang.
Was it a Seiko 5?
Yeah, it was.
I think
It was.
'cause-
It was. We both got the exact same Seiko
Yeah.
5 with the
Yeah,
white
yeah.
dial. I still had that, and I actually gifted it to my nephew John, who was getting into watches, and I thought that was a really great like beginner watch in like the automatic watch world. It was like $100, I think, around
yeah,
around
the
that. And
cheapest automatic
came
watch
with
you could get.
came with a cheap bracelet, but I loved it. It had an open case back that you can see the movement. I thought it was really cool. I think it had a day date function or one of those. But yeah, I really liked that watch. That was the first automatic. But the first watch that I think that was like the second watch I got, but the first watch I got that was like around $300 that really started my passion for watches. And that was the one that was like, at the time, 300 was a lot for me to spend on a watch.
I agree.
You
It
know,
kind of
like-
still is.
Yeah, I mean, now I think about 300 and I'm like, oh yeah, I can.
I just
that's
buy
easy.
it. I'm not
Yeah,
like I need to say it.
Like that's like 3 payments of $100. I think of it kind of in that sense. But at the time, I was like, dang, this is like $300 I'm gonna drop on something I'm gonna wear on my wrist, and that was the Dan Henry.
Okay, I was hoping you brought that out.
Yeah, the Dan Henry chronograph, the
Gran Turismo. Yeah.
Still have this watch. Still wear this watch. It's still ticking because I get the battery changed, often. And
I copied Dennis on this watch. He sent me a photo and immediately fell in love, and
Yeah.
I just straight up copied him. Which
Yeah, and it's funny too because like you could have gotten this watch in like a variety of different options, like different color dial, different color sub dial, a different amount of sub dials they have as well.
Yeah.
And you got the exact to the T same watch, but it's
because
I think
you were
that's
like, do I
because
do date or no date? And then
Yeah.
I was like, get the no date. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And then I went to buy it, and I was like, Dennis, I think I'm going to get the date. And you were just like, no, you better not get the date because you convinced me not to get the date.
It's just I mean I fell in love with Dan Henry and I remember looking. That's what started my passion of like searching watches on YouTube and like endlessly watching as many videos as I can find on whatever watch I was obsessing over at the time. And I couldn't find many on this watch or on Dan Henry as a whole, really. There was a couple out there, but not many. So I know you made one that was I think our very first video on this channel was,
and it's not doing too good.
Your video on this, but I don't know. I kind of want to do a review on it too, but I think maybe we should do like a joint updated review on both of our feelings on that watch in the future.
Yeah.
But I do love this watch, and that's kind of what started collecting watches for me.
So that watch spurred you into diving into watches in general.
Yeah.
So is the Dan Henry your most important?
It kind of is. Yeah, that's what I have. That's what I have listed as like my most important. I mean, after my Dan Henry, that's when I was like obsessed, and I was like, all right, I'm willing to spend thousands of dollars on a watch now, and that's when I got obsessed with Omega, and I got obsessed with the Omega Seamaster, the Aquaterra. The one I eventually purchased it. I got it off of eBay used for $3,000 around that price range, and I loved that watch. But there was a few things over a period of time that I started not loving about it, like the bracelet, and I think I then fell in love with like the Speedmaster, and I needed money for the Speedmaster. Actually, that's wrong. No, I had the Speedmaster and that watch. It was when I got the tutor.
Wanted the tutor.
Yeah, I was like, I want another. The watch was a blue dial dive watch, and I wanted the Tudor Black Bay 58. I just became obsessed with it, and I needed to have it. So I was like, all right, another blue diver. Do I have two of them? I don't really need it. I'm not loving my Seamaster anymore, my Aquaterra.
Your Aquaterra.
And I sold it. I think for a profit, honestly. I sold it for maybe a couple $100 more than what I paid for it, and I was able to get the Tudor for that. So, yeah.
So I've got two watches for like my most important. I do have the Linear that kind of spurred everything, but currently the watch that means the most to me, I've got watches from my grandfather. I want to pick one of those, but honestly, it's going to be my first luxury watch, the Longines.
Wow. Yeah.
So you have more luxury watches than I do.
Yeah.
This is really my one true expensive watch. I'm really uncomfortable spending more than $5,000 on a watch. So for me,
I hate spending that much, but I'm definitely not uncomfortable doing so.
I just, I don't know. I just can't do it. A good sweet spot for me is anywhere from $500 to $1,200.
Yeah.
I'll throw that down on impulse.
Yeah.
But for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, I really need to sit and think about the watch and choose the right one. I can't be so impulsive.
See, that's something that we have a big difference on with our point of views of collecting. Like, I know you're thinking, well, instead of me buying one watch for $5,000, $7,000, I can buy a few watches for $500 to $1,200. Where in my mind, I'm like, I'd rather have that one
quality.
That one watch that has better quality. You can't deny that. If you hold a watch that's $7,000 and you hold a watch that's $1,000, 9 times out of 10, if you know what you're looking at, you know what you're feeling, you know the difference.
Yeah.
And then I also have in my mind, like, once you reach that $5,000 or more of a watch, if you ever plan to sell it, you're going to be able to sell it for more, the same, or a little bit less. You're going to be in that ballpark. When you're buying a watch in the $1,000 range, you're going to be losing no matter what, a couple $100, unless you're getting something like what's that brand that we like that is limited?
Not Paulin or Anordain or
no, the other one that they drop every once in a while. And we're always thinking about getting it.
Oh,
the watermelon
Studio Underdog.
Yeah, Underdog Studio. Studio Underdog. I think it's Studio Underdog. Yeah. I think that you can probably sell for more just because they're limited runs and people
They're
scout
hype.
them. But yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's a feeling. Buying a watch, I was afraid to wear this at first.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Then I just started wearing it to work and stopped, babying this watch so much. And I think if I were to buy a watch over $5,000, I get anxiety about it. I'm not going to wear those type of watches to work, at least. And then I'm only wearing it on the weekend. It just doesn't make sense for me financially to own a $7,000 watch, at least right now. I think one day I would own, so like even like the IWC, it's a $5,000 watch, and I'm looking at the Zinn 556, which is 3 times cheaper than that watch, but not because of the price, but because I genuinely want the Zinn over the IWC. It's just a feeling. I get anxiety. I don't know. It's tough to explain. Does that make sense at all? Or
No, I understand. I was definitely, when I first got my Speedmaster, I was definitely like weary on wearing it out as much as I did. But something just clicked with me, and I wear it as hard as any of my other watches. And I work in an environment where I can ding it up on stuff all the time. And I'm just careful with it. You just did a video where you talked about funny things that watch enthusiasts do. And someone commented that when they go through doorways, they hold it behind them.
Yeah.
And I do something similar. I think I hold it sometimes in front or behind me, or I'm just very cautious of it because I have nicked it on door frames before because I'm a bigger guy. So it's happened before. I'm like, oh shit. And so I'm wary of it now, but I thought that was a funny thing that someone commented.
Yeah, and I think too another thing for me is I gravitate more towards tool watches, which aren't. I mean, sure, you can get a Rolex Submariner, and that's a tool watch, but
Yeah.
for me, a tool watch is more of like a Marathon or the Zen. I don't know. It's just something. I don't know. It just resonates
Yeah.
with me a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, you have your definition of a tool watch in the sense of with your marathon, you bought that watch because you want to use it as a tool, but you can definitely say any watch to a certain degree is a tool watch because you're using it
Sure,
in some aspect as a tool. So
but
it's
you're not going to
it's
beat
up
up
to
a Patek Philippe.
no, no. I mean, maybe someone. I'm sure there are people out there
Yeah,
that do, but majority for sure no. But yeah, I mean, I'm a clumsy person, so when I do anything active in terms of like skateboarding or riding a bike or anything like that, I put on
put on
my
the Casio.
my Casio, my
Yeah,
$20 from Amazon Casio, because I did fall wearing my Orient. I had an Orient that I fell on a skateboard with, and I did ding it up a little bit, and it wasn't devastating because it wasn't too much of damage. It was just a little bit on the case. I kind of scuffed it, but yeah, I definitely know the feeling.
yeah. Um, so let us know in the comments below what watch kind of started your journey, or what's the most important watch to you. Um, Dennis, is there anything you want to know in the comments, or
No, I think you asked the question perfectly. Essentially, what got you into collecting watches?
yeah,
Are you just now starting out? And what watch are you looking to purchase next?
yeah, we read every comment and try to respond to every single one. And yeah, I'm just curious as to what watches, other than Seiko, set off your watch collecting journey. So
Yeah.
thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
See ya.